Okay, so welcome everybody to yet another Daily Dose of Swipe. Today we're surfing through the subject lines like we did 2 or 3 days ago. Um, because I'm too lazy and I'm quite busy with my our webinar launch on my client side of things, and I also have a case study to record. I don't think I'm gonna do that today, but tomorrow. Anyways, enough yap. I don't think I should be yapping this shit. If you're watching this, you're probably a copywriter or a marketer or somebody who has something to do with advertising slash marketing game, and you're probably watching this so you can extract the principles of the psychological principles what other people, your competitors and probably industry leaders apply in their sales assets, so there you can extract those principles, as I said, and insert it into your messages, sales messages, so that you can make hell of a lot more money. And that's what we are all here for at the end of the day, aren't we, right? Yeah, so today we're just surfing through the subject line, as I said. Let's just get this started. I mean, we're just doing it off the top of our head because the videos these days they're getting kind of long, and I have my own stuff to take care of. So yeah, enough yapping. Let's get down. Would you have done the same? Hmm. Subject line is kind of intriguing. I'm genuinely intrigued as to why. Never, ever put your emails in center alignment. Ew, it looks so odd. But okay, I mean, sometimes odd works. It's not that you should not break principles and rules. Like sometimes, like you make more money, or you just say you see more results if you break the rules. This morning on our webinar, like we thought of doing the whole Russell Brunson stuff type, stack thing, stack this value, you're gonna get this, and this, all for this, the price anchor stuff, and summarizing the offer and shit. We did that. We thought to ourselves, let's fuck it, let's just do it, let's just raw dog it. And we just, when the close section started, we just asked them to hop on a call. I'm sorry, when the closed section started, we just showed our, like, the school community, which was our primary offer right now, which is our primary offer, and just showed inside what do you get. You get this and this, and just just keeping it raw and keeping it minimal, and people joined. Again, I'm not gonna say the exact numbers, but people joined. Sometimes it works. This guy hadn't sold anything on live webinar before, so this is probably a progress. We did not make huge money, but it was enough. So okay, would you have done the same? I'm kind of uninterested by the thing itself, so I'm not gonna read it, but I like the subject line. Would you have done the same? What would I have done the same? Not reading this. Okay, here's the best YouTube shorts niche and 14 more. Don't know why you guys signed up. The real cost of playing it safe in 2025. Silly gurus, email tricks for kids. What type of guys can gain muscle? Unsexy expenses versus fun ones. The worst advice I ever followed. The silent care of good work. Have you seen this ad? Uh, the inner freelancer lifestyle. Your cash cow links. Frank Kern send you a message. What the fuck? Three not so bad things on aging and longevity. But yeah. I hope they not sue me, but you can see, right? This is a whole lot of jargon. It's not that people want to read. People who know this brand and know that they provide good value are definitely gonna read this, but not that not that well. Your Porsche 911 Turbo S is waiting. Bro, what's up, brother? Artisan Lab. We've already broken down an email from Ben Bader, Cardinal Mason, so I'm not gonna do that. Say goodbye to Itchy. Blah, what the fuck? My list is stuck at 2,000, 3,000 people, but it's not growing. Guilty. Say goodbye to Itchy Dry Scalp Naturally. New systems. From the blah, blah, gurus who exclude bias from promos got no love for their customers. Train smarter and harder. Power generated blah blah. Our opportunities, distraction, mobsters, knights, and samurai have a code. Do you? In 2008, kind of interesting. Okay, I guess we found our email of the day. Nerd Fitness. In 2007, Italian police arrested Salvatore Lo Piccolo. This dude was an actual boss from real life Sicilian mafia. As they explored his house, they stumbled across what they believed to be this official Ten Commandments of their crew. In other words, if you want to be a good mobster, follow these easy 10 steps. See, now a very intriguing subject line. It still have the whenever you see a subject line, you use this as your North Star or something like that. North Star. I always have problem with pronunciation. English is my first language. Anyways, yeah, mobsters, knights, and samurai have a code. Do you? Yeah, it's a like so what question, right? You could just say like so what, but it's asking you a question like do you? Do I? Who knows? Like when you ask questions in your stuff, it's people are somewhat obliged, let's say, to open the email and answer something because we have been conditioned to as a human being to answer the questions we answer the questions we've been asked. So that part does the work as well, but the heavy lifting is done by this. So have a code like what does this mean? Like they have a code. Do you like kind of intriguing, kind of curiosity driven, right? But sometimes you need to find the sweet spot between intrigue and value as well, or because if you just go to the intrigue route, you might use some vague subject line, he who was, they who can, or something absurd like that. That way people are not going to be interested, even though like you thought like it was a masterpiece, like you were a fucking great storyteller or something. No, that does not work. But you can go all benefit driven because like how do you stand out? Everybody's gonna trying to shove value down the throat, and majority of the time your audience already knows what you're gonna say. 80 to 90% of the time you can't say anything new at all. If you can, it's barely gonna amount to like 2-3%. Let's say like yesterday we broke down one of Jeff Nippard's email, right? So what we, by the way, what's the day today? Is it 43? I don't know. I'm getting forgetful. Anyways, yeah, yesterday we were breaking down Jeff Nippard's email, and what I was talking about is, this guy, everybody knows about, lifting weights and muscles and stuff like that, right? So you go hit the gym, your diet should be in check, you need to do it consistently, and you need to do what was the like I forgot the name, like progressive overload. Yeah, you need to progressive overload, and you need to do like it's already out there in YouTube, and any guy who like does a bare minimum, right, meaning like researches or Google something, he's gonna know like, right, yeah, you need to hit these muscles to pump up your chest, or you need to hit this muscle to have a defined back or defined shoulders or something like that, right? So what you say could only be so beneficial, like it's already out there. So you need to come up with something new to the market, which in the initial phases you're going to make a hell of a lot more money, but over time the market's going to get sophisticated, and let's not talk about what happens. And that is when most businesses hit plateau, especially info businesses. So yeah, you can go full benefit, you can go full intrigue, but you need the sweet spot. It's not that these don't work and these don't work. They do, because as I said, I mentioned like Steve Cam. I almost forgot that he was, he's like the CEO of Nerd Fitness, and I did not know who Steve Cam was until I opened this. So Sometimes your readers. This is how your average readers emails look like. Of course, it's not gonna be this huge because this is a big burner email, but so it looks somewhat like this, and you have to stand out. And sometimes people, maybe you send once like newsletter. That's why this is the problem. If you send one newsletter per week, it's gonna get buried somewhere, and people are gonna forget why they signed up in the first place and who you are. Like Steve Kemp, I wouldn't have known until I opened. Oh, this guy's from Nerd Fitness. Important stuff, man. Important. That's why people emphasize on sending at least 3 emails per week. So there's that. Yeah. So if he was sending like one email per day or something, that I would know that, oh, this guy is from Nerd Fitness and he's talking about blah blah blah. And even if you use like a heavy curiosity driven or heavy benefit driven email, people would have opened because it's from you. It's not, they're not opening it because it's from, it has a perfect subject line. Of course, you should optimize things on that end, but this thing matters as well. You need to take over the mental bandwidth of your viewers, of your readers, of your prospects. You need more frequency. You need to be out there consistently. You need to be the absolute go-to authority and solution to these problems and to them in general. So this is a huge game, and you need to be constantly sending emails over a long horizon of time, so that the conversion window, which is more like the buying phase, meaning people don't usually buy in these phases. Let's say my conversion window is 9 months. So it's gonna take me 9 months to convert to your client, meaning like you need to constantly tell me that, oh, okay, yeah, the problem, because I signed up for a reason, right? You need to constantly send me, okay, you need to constantly show me that your thing works. You need to show me case studies over month. I'm not even talking about days. I'm not even talking about the rapid lead activations, email sequences, and welcome sequences. No, month over month, you need to be constantly out there. You need to show yourself. You need to showcase. You need to be constantly posting content. You need to be constantly maybe like do these emails and maybe reach out to me, try to set appointments with me, do offer, do something like that. And maybe finally, when my pain grows hard, like painful enough, I'm gonna take action. And if you're not there, when I have it so, like my problem is so painful that I'm gonna take action, then you're not gonna make money. That's why, like, people who just spend 3-4 months and quit never usually like make a lot of money, because this thing exists, conversion window exists. I always like to give my personal example with conversion windows. Like, I was reaching out to a guy that I'm currently working with the webinar thing. Yeah, I was constantly reaching out to him month over month. I probably sent him 3 to 4 different emails, and dozens, a total of 30 plus follow-ups month over month. Nor was I just following up, I was sending even more value throughout the whole session. Sorry. And it took 5 months for this guy to go through one of this, and he went through all of the free works that I had listed out, and he actually signed up for myself. And he booked the call himself. We hopped on another call and we closed him. And probably this could turn into a rev share deal as well. So you see, right, the power of staying in the business. Had I quit after a month of following up, I wouldn't have made money at all. So this thing is powerful. It's not a fairy tale or something. This is real. So you need to be out there every day, or let's say throughout. Your brand should be there for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You need to play the long game. Okay, let's get down to the breakdown itself. In 2007, Italian police arrested the server. Okay, so this is the context, right? This is the story context. So which is kind of different from this itself, but maybe. So this is what it happens, right? Movie. Let's do a movie comparison to this. A movie has a certain title, like Dark. Let's say that's a fucking TV series. Okay, let's do The Descent. Have people watched it decent? What's a common movie like everybody's watched? Let's say Titanic. Okay, let's do Titanic. Okay, it's Titanic. What the fuck is Titanic, right? Maybe like in the first few days before it launched. So Titanic is about the it's about you can get a rough estimation of what it's gonna be about, but you're not gonna know the whole thing, right? You open the loop with the name itself. Now, Titanic, like you probably think it's gonna be like a documentary or like what could it be? Maybe a documentary about a Titanic. Yeah, maybe like yeah, you assume maybe the trailer teases a love story between Leonardo. I don't even know the Leonardo, and I don't even know the actress name. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is shit just happens in the movies, right? All of a sudden, war movies, action movies specifically, you're gonna see like a huge fight, or let's say a huge motion, right? In the first few clips, in like the first few minutes of when the movie starts, because and you don't know what the fuck is happening. Like everything is happening at the same time. I don't know who this guy is and why he's trying to kill the other guy. And over time, as you watch the video, you all connect the dots and everything falls into place, right? And that is like what story emails generally turn out. You use an intriguing subject line, you build out a context. This is the context part. You tie that story into a benefit, which is you working out and shit. And you like story action, like what story lesson. Yeah, you this is a story, you're gonna turn it into lessons, and you're gonna ask them to act somewhere in the blah blah blah. Yeah, analogies, right? You need to constantly use analogies. That's why it's kind of complicated. If you're a random beginner who's trying to write story email, it's going to take time, but it's one of the best things you should practice, because um that's just helpful in general. Storytelling is a great skill, not just in the copywriting world, but content creation and media and public speaking in general. Anyways, so story. Okay, if you want to be a good master, follow these 10 easy steps. No one can present himself directly to another of our friends. There must be a third person to do it. Never look at the wives of friends. Never be seen with cops. Don't go to pubs and clubs. Always being available for Cosa Nostra is a duty, even if your wife's about to give birth. Appointments must absolutely be respected. Wives must be treated with respect. When asked for any information, the answer must be the truth. Money cannot be appropriated if it belongs to others or other families. People who can be a part of Cosa Nostra. Anyone who has a close relative in the police. Anyone with a two-timing relative in the family. Anyone who BS badly and doesn't hold to moral values. By the way, I forgot to mention. Okay, so these are the context, right? We're still in the story phase. We're not in the lesson phase yet, but you can kind of grasp the you conclude yourself, right? You conclude that he's going to talk about the same thing. He's going to talk about having rules for fitness, something, right? You can expect that, you can anticipate that. Some same way in movies, like if two couples enter in a lift. I read this on Make to Stick. Yeah, if two couples enter a lift, and maybe there comes two couples out, one couple, yeah, maybe another woman enters the lift, and the guy looks at her, it's something like that, right? The guy looks at her and then looks at his wife, and he does this eye roll thing or something like that. I forgot what the whole thing was, but if you like presented that sort of situation, and if the music, the background music follows a similar, let's say, environment or similar alignment, I can't find the right word. You conclude that there's something going on, right? There's tension. Right? So whenever you let's say drama and romance, this step, that is a good example. When like you see a random guy and a random girl, when they lock in eyes and they try to flirt with each other and shit, you can tell that this guy, they have some tension going on in between, right? They are attracted to each other. You can conclude that nobody said anything at all. You see, like, if the narrator narrator or somebody who, if it was, if you said, it would ruin the whole thing, right? Same with this. You conclude the lessons. That is one of the best thing. Like writing concluding copy, in my opinion, is one of the best thing you can write. And I still myself struggle with to do that. I know, like I you look at me like this guy who knows everything. I don't know shit. Trust me. That's why I'm making these videos. If I wasn't, like, I would have probably, I don't know what I was doing. Fuck it. Anyways, okay. So this is the story. We're still in the story section. The mob isn't the only crew that rules either. We're gonna talk about nerd fitness, but let's do that at the end of the whole thing. The mob isn't the only crew that has rules either. Ancient some samurai had Bushido, aka the way of the warrior. It rules for the personal righteousness, courage, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, loyalty, self-control. Elsewhere, knights in medieval Europe had a code of chivalry which covered things like protection of the weak and poor, courtesy and respect, courage, and military prowess. Maximus Decimus Meridius and Gladiator and his fellow soldiers always picked each other up with strength and honor. In 300, Spartan soldiers knew to come home with your shield or on it. We have rules for the Nerd Fitness Rebellion too. So you see, story, lesson. Now that's gonna be the lessons. Yeah, they're gonna tie that lesson. They're gonna tie the story to the lesson. That's probably relevant for their ideal prospect traffic. Let's say. I bring up these rules because we might not be mobsters, knights, or samurai, but I bet adding some rules to your life could help. Rules can help us make decisions. Life is complicated, and our brains are capable of taking us into and out of various decisions. However, when we have a rule in place, it allows us to make a clear choice rather than agonizing over it. More importantly, we can make a rule once, and then we don't have to waste any brain power or willpower on each decision later on. Here's a quick example. Most of the successful popular diets are simply a list of rules that people follow that get them to eat fewer calories. Intermittent fasting means I only eat between noon and 10 p.m. The paleo diet means I don't eat anything a caveman wouldn't eat. I don't eat any products derived from animals. I don't know why there are links. We're gonna figure that out. I'm not saying any of these strategies above are better or worse than any others either. I bring up these heuristics because they have helped many and been unhelpful for many. Each person can come up with a set of aspirational rules that help them level up their lives. I certainly have fitness rules that I usually follow. So yeah, this is a lesson. We're still in the lesson phase. See, it follows a framework rather than, a certain structure or a template. Yes, I could, templatize the whole thing, right? Like benefits and the what I usually try to do with my other email breakdowns. Yes, I could do that, but see, like story, lesson, CDA, like it's a framework. You're not bound by anything, right? You just have to write a story. It works. But if you try to, templatize it, you're gonna get overwhelmed and probably burn out, which kind of does not exist now that I look back to it. But yeah, story lesson she's CDA. That's the framework. Use frameworks and principles, prioritize them more than the tactics themselves. Move every day, walk daily. Okay, this they have attached a link to this as well. Strength train 4 times per week, 40 minutes, 3 plus servings of veggies and 180 grams of protein per day. Have a rough plan for next 2 days of eating. Eat for my goals for 90% of meals. No foods are off limits except truffle oil, gross. Optimize for enjoyment, not calories at restaurants. Sleep in bed before 10 p.m., up by 6:30 a.m. Always follow a less healthy diet with a healthy one. Life happens outside the gym. This is probably what they stand for. This is the brand alignment copy, let's say. You are, just filtering out people. If people who are reading this do not resonate with this, they're gonna leave, and that is better. That is good because they're not gonna buy shit anyways. So why me try these motherfuckers? I know when I follow these rules the way of the nerd, I have a pretty good chance of staying fit, healthy, and feeling good about myself. I also have rules about interacting with the world and being a good human. Do the right thing, especially when nobody's looking. Re-rack your weights, clean up after your dog, put back the shopping cart. Your apathy becomes somebody else's responsibility. Heard this once and it's always stuck with me. Your apathy becomes somebody else's responsibility. That's a good quote, by the way. These specific rules might not work for you, and that's okay. They're my rules. Your rules must reflect your situation. We respect the rules of others. Here's another fun fact, a funny fun hack. We might not like all rules, but we tend to respect other people's rules. Your coworker offers you a donut, and you say, "Oh, I shouldn't." They might come back with a "Come on, live a little," because they don't want to be the only person eating a donut. But if you say, "I have a rule that I don't eat donuts on weekdays," then you probably have a hard rule that you're following, and your coworker will probably respect this. So this is kind of another analogy. Okay, some people might abstain from certain foods or drinks for religious or personal reasons. There's no reason you can have rules for whatever damn reason you want. What are your rules? A good combination of aspirational properties, blah, blah, blah. Heck, even one of the rules should be yours. There are some ideas to help you. At work, I do what I say I'm going to do on schedule, or I tell my team ahead of schedule if I need more time. With friends, I always send a thank you note after being invited to something by a friend. I only drink alcohol on Friday night and Saturday while watching college football. What who the fuck watches football? And I never understood the hype of like watching games. Of course, it's not that I have never done it, but it's just it just does not make sense for me anymore. I only watch one episode of TV per night. I stop playing video games and turn off social media at 8 p.m. Start writing down some aspirational rules and see how it feels. I find them more specific and the more likely your rules that actually make you blah blah blah. Rules can be also blah blah blah. Remember, can blah blah blah. See, there's not a direct CTA. It's just value type email, story lesson, CTA. But yeah, we do have CTA throughout the whole thing, and we're gonna click on that. So yeah, you don't need an actual the click here thing on your email every time. You just put links throughout the whole thing. Maybe somebody clicks on a certain. The fuck is this? I do have my internet, so nah, this is not good. You should not be sending people to these kind of sites, man. They're gonna associate you as a scammer or something like that because why are they sending people to these lists? Like rules of the rebellion. We have broken down the one of the welcome emails. Oh, have we not? I forgot. Like I feel like we have. Okay, so rules of the rebellion. We don't care where you came from, only where you're going. We're gonna. By the way, I mentioned that we're gonna talk about the environment, so we are. Wait a sec. Get them to eat fewer calories, intermittent fasting, paleo diet, vegan, myths and facts, strength strategies, paleo diet, beginner's guide. Okay, so it's like their blog. Maybe they're just funneling people into more value, and maybe at the end of this, they're gonna sign up to the coaching or they have something. Have another fitness go. Yeah, so they are directing people to even longer form newsletters and blogs, and then funneling traffic to the whole thing. As I said, not everybody needs a fitness coach right now. Maybe they're just figuring things out. They're just watching YouTube. They just think that I don't need a coach. I can do it myself. Of course, like yeah. So if you try to buy, of course you could do direct response. You could do a direct response approach. Not saying that you can't, but you need to give them the freedom to try out alternatives so that even your solution, that's fitness coaching, is gonna stand out. It's gonna be long term helpful, let's say. And this is like a good business in my opinion. You you have something for the nerds as well. So traffic, so email, pushing traffic to even more newsletter. I don't think they needed to do the to send people to like these thing these stuff, but they still did it because, as I said, this is a nerd fitness. These are nerds. They are probably interested in Way of the Warrior or some shit like that. Like, I don't. We should like stop, using nerd as a bad terminology, because to learn anything in depth or have some form of competency in it, you need to obsess about it. You need to learn it in depth. What that makes you dumb, right? The person who uses like nerd as a as a slang, or as a as an insult or something, they try to mean it as a slang or something. You need to go in depth. You need to obsess over something if you want to be minimal, at least like have some form of competence in whatever you're doing. So it does not make sense at all. You're just saying that you have no depth, you've not learned anything, you've not obsessed over anything, you have such a such a vague life, such a unfulfilling, not so purposeful life. That was a side rant. Anyways, we're here to break down. So let's see, like, where does this link send us? Where does this link? Oh, listen, there's not a link probably. There's Where does this link? And these are links to the socials. Fuck yes, shit. Rules suck. So Instagram, do the right thing. Okay, blah blah blah. So he's also directing traffic to the to his Instagrams and socials. So as I said, when you're playing the long game, it does not matter where you send your traffic to, but it's better to have people only send people to one specific link. But I don't know like what's their objective. I would not use so many, but they're just trying to give more value, get people to consume more of their content, and get bought into whatever they have, and just get bought into their brand so that they can search the coaching themselves. And but they're just moving people from uh, through the awareness funnels fast. They're just trying to do that. Content as Not content ad strategy, by the way. There's no ad to this. So story lesson CDA. That's We don't have an actual CDA. We have just CDA throughout the whole thing, giving more value, acting as more of a lead magnet to long form, so that they can consume more of the content, occupy more of the mental bandwidth of the prospects, and potentially you know compress their conversion cycle so that they turn into clients and they give them money and they increase the LTV per customer and something like that. So let's talk about the environment of nerd fitness. Now, nerd fitness, as the name suggests, is for nerds, right? And they have been around for a long while till now. And the guy himself, the founder himself, he does not coach. Probably he has teams of coaches under him who do the coaching for him, and they've got this. The coaching is probably 297 or 197 bucks a month. Maybe I don't. We're not gonna talk about the employee satisfaction or something, but maybe that's enough for them, enough revenue for them. And people want affordable coaching, right? They just don't want random ass coaches who don't even care about them at all. Which I've heard a lot of cases, because I somewhat work in the fitness coaching space as well, and I see a lot of these comments, like people, the coaches actually not giving a shit about the customer. So I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, the let's talk about the market sophistication, market awareness levels. I went over the environment though in the beginning phases. Let's just talk about the market sophistication and the market awareness. So people watching this, they're probably aware of the brand. Not me. You see, like sometimes your audience might just go cold if you do not constantly be on the hunt for their attention. Just like how it was for me, I did not know Steve Cam. I repeat. So something like unaware, oh, like problem aware, solution aware. So Then, for example, it's not that this is realistic. Let's just do it for an example's sake. I was unaware that, of course, I was unaware that they have a code, but I I'm unaware about the problem. Meaning, like, I do not know that you should have a code in fitness, right? Let's suppose, you should have a code in business, fitness. Okay, so I open this email, so I know that okay, these guys have code. So you should, so they have a code for, we should have a code. So now, um, I'm problem aware that you, if you do not have a code, then you're. By the way, they did not make me problem aware. Anyways, now I'm solution aware. We did not even attend the problem aware stage. Maybe it was just not necessary this time, because this stages of awareness is just a north star, right? It's not, oh, you need to follow this. It's not a concrete path. It's just assumptions. It's just what works. It just makes sense. So solution, now I'm solution aware, that meaning that I need rules. So these are the rules of their brand. So they're making me now product aware, meaning they're trying to, build a connection with me. They're trying to get me to become product aware. And okay, now I know that they have coaching in their thing. And maybe if I read through and surf through all these blogs in depth, and I get that, I understand that these people know what they're talking about and they can probably help me, and I can actually resonate with their brand because I'm a nerd or something. Maybe I watch anime all day, maybe I watch movies all day, maybe I some form of read manga shit. Now then, the most away phase, it's for the prospect, meaning people who actually buy, who are going to be sent the, who are going to get the, back end promotions and shit, which we don't have to talk about, because you don't get that until you actually land the client. But they've just made me product aware again. I did not, I kind of forgot about them. They gave me something to be aware of. They gave me some solutions, some value, more depth, right? And probably give me more information, and also familiarize their product with me. That is one-on-one coaching. So that's the big whole, like, let's say that's how it looks like in the grand scheme of things. That is how the content, like, let's say, market, what they call market construction, market, you get the whole thing, right? By the way, and I did not mention about, I always do, but I forgot to do so, but now I do know about it. I'm gonna try. um uh um 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 what was I going to talk? Yeah, traffic source. Like, who, what could be the traffic source? That's a weird concept to talk about. Maybe they're, yeah, pushing more content, running more ads, and funneling people who buy their product could be added to the newsletter. People who just sign up to the newsletter, people who sign up for the blog, or just something like that. Organic. What, there are only four mechanisms, right? Four mechanisms for traffic funneling: ads, partnership, outreach, and content. That's literally it. And maybe you funnel traffic from all sources to this page, and the people just get it. They have some welcome emails and maybe some welcome funnels, welcome strategies. I don't know. We haven't broken that down. So over time, so given that I got cold as an audience, they're gonna have to keep sending more emails out, right? So you can't just do a welcome email and just expect them to buy. This is a long game. Yeah, that's about it. That's what I wanted to cover in this video. I'm gonna print it out and I'm gonna save it to our Google Docs.